Thank you for joining, everyone. It is Andrew here from MAO Magic with the Tryten iPad stand. Well, I guess this is more of a tablet stand, as you're not really limited to just iPads, though there is a compatibility list listed on the website. Your only thing you're going to need to install this is going to be a screwdriver and possibly a drill, depending on how secure you'd like your stand to be. Now, there's a ton of different uses for this. Of course, a big one's going to be for businesses or trade shows, but another great option is going to be even if you have something like a smart home at home and you want like a central hub to kind of control everything in your house, and a really easy way to do that. So there is a little stand here at the base. You can actually screw these down, bolt them down to a desk, a counter, a wall, wherever you may need to control that. And then there is a cover to kind of slide over that. It's really, really nicely designed. A lot of little perks that kind of just cover that up to make it look nice to the outside. Once you have that mounted and covered, you're going to install the back of the iPad stand itself, which is, again, dead simple. Just 4 screws that go from the back of this to the stand that is mounted to the wall, table, desktop, whatever it may be. On the top, there will be a little locking portion. So this is, again, just like everything here. I don't want to keep repeating it, but really easy to install. Simply bolt over that, add the little lock in place, screw that down, all set to go. I really love the adaptability here, though, which is kind of one of my favorite features. So if we look at the faceplate of this, on the back there are a few different kind of bars, and this back plate, this actually will adjust based on the type of device you have in there. It can be close, you can flip it around and put it on the other side, and it's slightly further away. So depending on the tablet or the iPad that you have, determines how close this needs to be to the device itself. So if you have something slimmer like an Air or an Air 2 or a Pro, you're going to need to be a little bit more tighter, and you're going to put it on kind of like this left side here, so it's going to be closer. There are also tiny little, rubber or silicone little feet that you can also add into place to make sure your iPad doesn't slip around, which again depends on the size of the device you're going to be putting in. So I'm going to put 4 of those in each of the kind of corners there, and then the iPad now will no longer slide. I have an Air 2, it's going to fit in perfectly. I'm going to take the actual bar here, and there's 2 little black foam pieces that are again going to keep it just nice and snug. Really, it's not going to go anywhere. It's literally bolted into place and locked into place with a key, so there's really nowhere for it to go, but this is just a lot of added protection to make sure that an iPad isn't going to be moving around once it is mounted inside of the display itself. I can kind of shake it around. It's really not going to go anywhere. So I've got my iPad mounted in there, and now I have my base. I can go ahead and put them together. The bottom first just kind of slides into place. The top is going to come together, and I'm going to use the key just to lock it down. So obviously you want this to be secure, so that way people aren't coming in here and being able to remove that iPad. If you have it in a public space, if you have it in your storefront, on your kiosk, anything like that, you don't want people to have access to this, so it needs to be locked in place and non-removable. If it also is going to be in there for kind of a long time or permanent, or you just want to be able to have power to it, luckily this works really, really well with a lightning cable. I simply plug in that lightning cable, run it through the base. There is a little spot for it to come out of, and now I have power coming to my device really at all times. If I'm going to be putting this into something like a counter, if I'm going to be using this for a register, this is perfect because I can put a hole in there, drill through, and actually just plug that into a USB power source, whether on a computer or an outlet. Anything will work. You can use a longer cable if you need to. Apple sells them, third party sells them, but really easy way to get power into here and keep your device safe without having a cord coming through that could easily be cut, torn, pulled, whatever. I also really like that it works with a key, so you don't have to do something weird to get it out. It actually is really easy to remove if you do need to remove it, however frequently. Again, there are tons of different uses for this. Whether you have an option for a trade show, you can actually get a stand for this. Mounting to the wall, I love using it as a square register. Perfect thing in there, you can actually have it rotate around and have people be able to sign things, or just in your home. It's kind of like a smart home hub, but you really want a nice mount to hold that iPad somewhere where it's not going to get in the way. If you'd like to pick one up, there is a link below in the description. Go ahead and subscribe, ask any questions in the comments. Till next time, this is Andrew for MAO Magic.